2-1.
Hi, this is Tobias Woolborn from FoxSportsSouth.com with our writer Steve Eubanks, who just wrote a fun game story on a somewhat surprising score of 45-7 there for UGA beating Auburn. Steve, what did you see today?
Well, I saw a very impressive Georgia Bulldog team at every aspect of the game. Offensively, defensively, special teams. There was really no area that you could say Georgia was weak today. Aaron Murray set a record, a season record, throwing for 27 touchdowns for the season, breaking Matthew Stafford's record from a couple of years ago. The most impressive figure to me was the time of possession. Georgia held the ball for 40 minutes and 55 seconds, as opposed to Auburn had it for 19 minutes and 5 seconds. Just an incredible dominating performance.
Now, Steve, earlier when you and I talked up in the press box, we both were saying, well, this is going to be a close game. Then you left me with a nugget. Well, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I just said, you know, when the Vegas line comes in and it looks like it doesn't make any sense, which it did with Georgia being heavily favored in this game, those guys know something. And I don't know what they knew, but certainly they knew that this was going to be a much bigger blowout than anybody else anticipated.
And what are some of the other things you saw that in Georgia's favor that you really liked?
I got to tell you, the defense is really coming around. I mean, since the first two games of the year, Georgia's defense has played as well as any in the SEC East. Those guys are communicating well. The linebacking core is as good as I've ever seen. Their pass rush is outstanding. This is a defense that you would have to say, with the exception, obviously, of LSU and Alabama, is one of the best in the SEC.
And one last thing, what is Georgia's future going forward?
Well, they have one more game against Kentucky. Obviously, that's a game they, again, are going to be heavily favored. They ought to be able to win. But I think we might now see a much closer SEC championship than everyone was anticipating. And
one more thing, for Georgia, is there any way they can lose that game against Kentucky?
Oh, sure. I mean, this is the SEC. Anything can happen on a week. But you've got to believe that with everything that's at stake, that the coaching staff is going to have them ready, and they're really going to come out and perform knowing that the SEC championship's on the line.
And isn't it amazing how quickly Mark Richt has turned around all the quote-unquote haters and everything?
Absolutely. I mean, it's amazing what a few victories will do in an 8-game winning streak, particularly with a win that was this emphatic and this dominating. It's going to be a nice weekend for the rest of the weekend for Mark and into next week.
Thanks.